I'm so excited for that cold open.
That's it. And then we cut to the episode.
Just right. Theme song. Before we go through any cold opens ideas, I would like to just take a moment to discuss what is the energy we're bringing to the studio when it's just the three of us.
The energy is fumbling virgins.
Dude, I'm so scared. I don't know how we're gonna do this without Dalia.
Pour one out for the homie. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with her, but she just kind of disappeared. You know? We didn't eat her. She just disappeared.
No cannibalism.
And if someone ate her,
she got snapped.
Yeah, if someone ate her, no one's telling.
She got
snatched?
Snapped. She got
Jesus
Thanos snapped right out of existence.
I'm jealous.
That's some bullshit that she would get snapped, but not us.
That would be some
the world's worst people.
That actually, that like tracks for like character development though.
For us?
The world's not any better with us in it.
But we're supposed to develop ourselves and be better people without her. So that way when we snap her ass back, we have growth. This is a growth opportunity.
It's a gross opportunity. Okay, I do have a question though. I was thinking about this as I was driving home from my mommy's house.
As all good thoughts are, processed.
So what's your stripper song? Do y'all have one?
Yes.
I've never really thought about it.
Number one fan.
No,
Phantom of the Opera. Mad World.
Okay, so the reason I asked this question was because I was listening to one of my playlists, and the playlist is titled Songs in Horror Movies. So just any song that's been in a horror movie, like the one we're about to watch, is on there. But the one that came on, and I was like, oh, this, I was like, this I think would be my stripper song, is Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie.
That's a good one.
But the song that came on after that was Mad World, and I was like, now this.
No, like, that's a stripping song.
No, if that's a stripping song.
Now I can show some titties to this song.
While I'm crying.
I can throw it back to this song.
While you're crying, you're like...
And the person I'm stripping on is also crying.
I love...
It's an emotional strip as well as, like, a lap dance.
I love that.
We love, it's just like how you love trauma horror movies. You just got to have them layers.
You don't want to strip to Big Girls Don't Cry?
I thought about it for a hot second there. For a second there.
I would like you to know that everything that comes on is apparently Betty of Riverdale does a sultry striptease to Mad World on fucking Riverdale. And I hate life. I hate living. I hate this earth. And
actively block that out of my memory because I did watch that. I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons. I totally forgot about that. That was that song.
This is ruined. I don't want to fucking strip to Mad World. It's canceled. Hallelujah, but Leonard Cohen only.
Guys, I gotta go.
Fuck Mad World.
All right. Cute.
Can I just say something to all the lovely sex workers and people that work the balls? Y'all are so fucking talented.
Oh yeah, I'm not digging. I'm not digging at all. I was just curious.
Oh no,
if I
sure.
could do what you guys do, that's the song I would do.
I would be doing it.
I would absolutely be doing it.
If I could do what you could do, I'd just do it.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Ketzel.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Ketzel.
Was that all good, fellas?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, I was like, we can do one more
I
take.
wish that we... Oh,
do you want me to do it again?
I just thought it was...
Oh my god.
No, I think it was perfect. Perfect take. Perfect take. All right. And we're just 3 American yuppies with a passion for murder and perfectly crisp business cards who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that reminded us that it's hip to be square and, oh, right, Jared Leto's always been a douchebag, huh? American Psycho, released in 2000, directed by Mary Harron. And today's loser is
It me.
Bum ba da dum.
Dun 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 dun.
Tone Zone.
Me.
The boy.
My boy.
Kill the spare.
All right, you fuckers. Why did you choose to do this one without Dalia?
Sar. Ketzel, take it away.
Dalia gave us the okay. So
Dahlia did give us the
we
okay. That
picked
is also why we're doing it.
that is why. Yeah, as you've noticed, Dahlia's not here. She said it was okay. We're allowed. We have permission.
Mom let us.
We're allowed out of the
Mommy
cage,
let us. Finally.
out of the handcuffs.
And I've been doing just fine.
We've been doing okay.
Very true.
So don't get it twisted. So we picked this because Christian Bale, Mama, the range, the talent, and most importantly,
The body.
Adi,
Body,
adi,
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 adi, adi.
Yeah, baby. Do you find Christian Bale attractive, Antonio?
Yes.
Smash or pass?
Smash.
Smash, pass, and then smash again.
I'm surprised you didn't say smash. When Ketzel was like, "How do you find him attractive?" You're like, "Smash."
I wasn't ready. I was just like, yes.
Are we frat bros when it's the three of us?
Sounds about right.
Thoughts?
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, our houses are a little bit cleaner and a little bit better decorated.
Speak for yourself.
What I can see of your home,
Anyway.
it's pretty decent.
Wait, did you just
We're
compliment
so
them?
nice. Yeah.
I thought it was a dig.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, ooh. And then I was like, wait a second.
You were like waiting. You were like,
Did I? I know. I was like,
okay.
this is gonna be like 3
Number-
hours long.
Oh,
This is gonna be fucking 3 hours.
Here,
it's gonna be
Okay,
so long.
Number B.
I will-
Number B. Do number
I
B.
will help. I will help. We'll go back and forth, baby. Okay. So the second point is it is based on a novel, which is good because some of us can't read. Ketzel.
It's also was directed by a woman, which is amazing because this is one of those movies that like cis-het white boys love. It's like one of those like red flag movies. If you're a man and this is like your fucking favorite movie, then ugh. But it actually was directed by a woman, so like that's kind of like I don't know, kind of subversive.
It's
Kind
tight.
of interesting. It's kind of tight. Antonio hates being here.
my brain just went to pussy tight, pussy clean. Sort of fucking. I was like, whatever. I was just like, I fucking hate it here.
What is the fucking thing? It's like you say pee pee poop, and about bats and eyelash, you say poop poop pee pee, and everyone loses their minds.
No, it's the one I told you about. It's the everyone says no. It's a you say peacock and no, that's not. You say poopcock and everybody loses their minds.
You know, listening to just Q talk. It's like the psychotic rambling of a 4-year-old.
Oh shit.
The Psychotic Ramblings of a 4-Year-Old is a great name for my memoir.
All right.
You're on D.
Our next point is we love murder.
Do you love murder?
I love murder.
Hey, do you love murder?
Hey, are you into murder? Is that your kink?
Who, me?
Who, me?
That's a secret I'll never tell. Wink.
Isn't he a murderer in that show? Mr. Gossip Boy?
No, I don't think so. No.
Not in Gossip Girl, in that other one.
Oh, you?
Oh, you, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
No, you dumb bitch. But yes.
This is all a long con joke for me. Anyway.
It's a long road to the fucking joke, dude. It's a long
me-
trek.
for me
It's
to
like
say, oh,
the
me.
trek to
Yikes.
the fucking
Mordor?
Thank you. I can think of it.
Thing. To the fucking
To that fucking mountain shit with the habits.
not the habits.
Dude, we're not even done with why we picked this.
We're not even done. Okay. And finally, the other reason that we picked this is that it, as much as this is about murder and it's kind of like a horror film, like, is it a commentary on masculinity, on yuppies, materialism, the demise of society under capitalism? Who's to say? But I'd suck the dick clean off Christian Bale, and that's all that matters.
And I think we would too.
Material girl.
That's the trick it take to keep the girl.
All right. Now that we got all those points out of the way, Antonio, what the fuck do you know about this movie?
Shut the fuck up and drink it. Because it's on the mug that you have.
That is not what my mug says.
Don't just stare at it. Drink it. Is that it?
It's kind of it.
Oh.
Is it referred to as cum?
Is that what it refers
Is it
to?
referred to
I
as
am
cum?
immediately much more
No.
invested in this.
You haven't seen
wish
this in
you
a
did.
minute, huh?
I haven't seen this since, like, we saw it in high school.
Okay, so another point of why we picked this. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, but not because of all the reasons that white men love it.
I'm different.
I'm different. But so I've watched this movie a lot, and you've never seen it, and you don't remember it very well, right?
Enough. Yeah.
So you'll see. When we get to that point, y'all will see.
Do you know anything about the plot, my friend? Prayer?
He's a businessman and he wields an axe and kills people.
Cute.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's really it?
That's about it.
Wow.
I don't even
Cute.
know why. I just have never had an urge to watch it. I don't know what it is about Christian Bale. While I like whenever he's in something, I don't exactly gravitate towards like watching his movies, necessarily speaking. Like,
Have you seen The Prestige?
I have, and not because of like Christian Bale, but it was just like
Hugh Jackman, huh?
I believe so. I believe that was why it was in the house. I think like my favorite. It's stupid. Aside from liking the Batman movies, my favorite Christian Bale movie that I can think of is Reign of Fire.
I don't know her.
Yeah, because it's the terrible sci-fi dragon apocalypse movie.
You would fucking.
I
you
fucking
would.
would.
Fucking,
I would fucking
I got to see a screen grab of this shit.
Matthew.
Reign
Oh my
of
god.
Fire.
Yeah, it's Reign of Fire. So Matthew.
2002.
Yeah, Christian Bale is the English, survivor who, grew up and he was like one of the first people to see a dragon, or probably the first person to see dragons come out of the ground of London.
Well, he can come in this ground anytime because he looks fine.
In that movie, he's rugged.
Thank you, Jesus, and also God.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff happening in that movie. And the dragon CGI for 2002, not terrible.
There it is.
Not terrible.
Tell me about the dragons, though. Tell me about the dragons.
The dragon CGI is that?
Damn, bro.
It's all out of love. It's all out of love.
Okay, the scores. So, the Rotten Tomato score is 69. Nice. Nice.
Fucking dumbasses. I swear to God.
I mean, come on. Audience is 85.
We're never getting through this.
Audience is 85 and Google users is 90. So
is that
not bad? I can't tell it's like they're all kind of all over the place. That I don't quite know what the average is there.
It's just over 80%.
okay? So it's like a B.
Okay, that's good.
It's low 80s.
I think the Google user one is accurate because it has developed such a cult following.
It has so many memes.
Anyway, so list of actors for I'm sure you know them all, my friend. Christian Bale, of course. Chloe Sevigny, who allegedly dated James Branson back in the day.
You gotta slip in that James fact.
Huh.
Anyway, so her, Jared Leto, Willem Dafoe, who terrifies me, Reese Witherspoon, love. Josh Lucas, and Justin Theroux.
I know them all now.
Cute.
Cute. I forgot Willem Dafoe was in this.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was
Not
in
looking
this.
forward to that. That's the real horror.
Honestly, Reese Witherspoon being in this, I'm like, wow, that seems very different. Not exactly her, like, it's not
Of the
in her
era.
genre.
Yeah, so what are your expectations before we go and do this goddamn thing?
I have none. I'm gonna go in really blank because I'm like, I don't know enough about it to be like, ooh, I'm gonna love this, or know enough about it to be like, I don't care for this at all.
I'm very intrigued by you after watching that.
By your mind.
By your mind, the found footage doc we watched yesterday, and like how you were like, oh, like you had so many different reactions to so many different movies that I was like, this, none of it tracks. It's all different.
No, like if you put your shit, like if you try to like put you on a graph in terms of your taste,
Oh, mama, it'd
it's
be
fucking
everywhere.
scattered, dude. Like you're a crapshoot when it comes to what I can't predict whether you'll like something or not. I really can't.
Seriously.
It's a roulette. It's like,
That's why I'm very intrigued to see how you feel about this movie.
yeah,
Rock and roll. Let's do it.
Rock and rolla.
Autobots, roll out.
Okay, nerd. Antonio, thoughts?
And prayers? And
Bones?
prayers, girl.
Boneston meat.
That, so, I mean, we can get into it
Let's get
later,
into it.
but
I want to take a moment of silence for that.
We'll get into the meat and bones of it later, but
but that was so funny.
That was the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen in my
That
life.
killed me.
was that the like first time you'd ever?
Because I always saw meat and bone. Like, I saw the words, but I never saw bones, and that fucking killed. That's why I was like,
This is not a horror movie. I don't know why we are trying to sell this to the world as a horror movie.
I wouldn't consider this
is
a horror
black
movie.
comedy.
It is. Do you think maybe to people that don't watch horror movies they'd consider this a horror movie?
I feel like I don't
Now, that's a
consider this a
question.
horror movie.
Because
There-
it's listed as a
it
horror
is-
film.
Really? I feel like
I
it's more
believe
like
that. I believe that it's listed as a horror film.
psychological.
Yeah, like a psychological thriller.
Yeah, that's like what I
Yeah, this
get
is
from
like,
it.
and having only seen parts of this movie, I can't really say for sure if this is what it is, but like Seven also sits in like psychological thriller
Yeah.
scope.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I wonder.
Wait, you haven't seen Seven?
It's on the list.
I've been in the room while it's playing,
Seven's
and I
fucking
know
good.
Fucking good. That movie's crazy.
The movie's fucking nuts, bro. I guess like, what do you guys think would make this horror? Because I agree with you guys. I think it's a psychological.
the
thriller.
murder. Honestly,
But Seven's murder.
murder
But
in
I thought Seven
graphic
more.
murder. I think graphic murder is what makes it horror.
I don't know. Sounds pretty graphic. Because here it's listed. Seven is listed as neo-noir psychological.
Can't read.
Neo-noir
Knew it. you caught it. We got it on not
tape.
on camera, but on tape. Yeah.
Neo-noir psychological crime thriller. Horror is nowhere in that, and I would say it's just as graphic as American Psycho. So I guess the distinction is
What's
weird.
American Psycho?
Horror. It just
listed
is
as?
horror film.
That's what it says on Google?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Mama, that's a comedy.
That's really what Google says?
Google said. Google.
Come on, Google. Come on.
Google came over here and said, "It's horror, Mom."
I don't believe that.
Miss Google.
Let's Google. We're gonna have some words later.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth the discourse of distinction because I truly don't think this is horror, but maybe to other people it is.
It's.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
there
we're
are some
so-
horrible things, but like
Absolutely.
as far as like the way it reads, that's the closest thing.
Well, I don't read, so
genre-wise it could fit. But
I would agree with you. This is a dark comedy.
this is a dark
It's
comedy.
hilarious.
it's a neo-noir psychological comedy film.
Yeah.
This is a psychological assault. No, that's what this movie is.
I saw you very invested in it. You didn't get on your phone till the last minute.
That's literally, I noticed that too. I was like, oh my God.
I'm paying attention, and honestly, I went to go look something up, and I have some thoughts that I want to share towards the end.
Ooger.
About the ending?
Uh-huh.
About the ending?
About the ending, and just, like, it's just, like, a weird, like, take that I might have. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh.
I have,
But,
quote also later.
dare I say I might like it? I'm just, like, I don't think I need to see it again anytime soon. Like, ever again, probably.
Really?
You didn't
But
have fun?
I did. I had fun.
You didn't have fun?
I thought it was a funny movie. And honestly, if anything, I think it was only funny because I was watching with y'all. And the things that we were saying while we were watching it.
That's true.
You know,
But I think we would also laugh at the same shit, too. We would just start giggling, and then we would, like, set each other off.
Some of this, though, I was like, huh. I don't know if I can listen to him talk anymore.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know if I can. This is a dialogue heavy, and it's just the most, like, forced assumption of an identity. I don't know. And, like,
It's
you're
a
trying
parody.
to sell me on
It's
something.
like he's like a parody of a yuppie.
Honestly, that's why, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
parody of a yuppie. It's a dark comedy, and
I think it's supposed to feel like that. It's supposed to feel so, like, forced and so, like, unnatural.
yeah. No, there was some very, like, unnatural feelings about this. Like, it's not, I have no thoughts that this is how people really are.
Well, I think also, like, Patrick Bateman, which is Christian Bale, I think he was the most forced out of all of them. I think the rest of them were, like, annoying, but he was the most forced.
It was, like, natural. He was, exactly.
Because-
he was assuming an identity. And this is
Yeah.
where I'm, like, I have, like, some thoughts and on that whole thing. And I was like, ooh, what if? But I, dare I say it, did like watching this movie with y'all at least.
Aw, Antonelli. So you wouldn't turn it off if we put it on in the back, like, while we're hanging?
I wouldn't pay attention to it probably again.
Except for the boats.
Boats and meat.
We'll get into the meat and bones of this now.
Okay, so the year is 1987. And Patrick Bateman is a very special boy.
I love that sentence is so good.
His life's kind of crazy. So he is a little rich banker boy from New York City who loves to partake in the finer things in life and hates everyone. So, like, naturally he kills people to deal with this. Thoughts? I think that goes into him being, like, a parody. Like, he's trying to fit in to be this banker yuppie boy. Like, it is...
I mean, that's what, like, he says that in when they're going to that dinner, him and his fiance.
Yeah.
In the car, she's like, I don't even know why you work there or whatever. And he's like, because I want to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of just sums it all up. I think he's just trying
to make himself look and feel normal.
And can I fucking say, my guy Christian Bale fucking transforms. He fucking transforms.
So I have a couple fun facts. Christian Bale got his teeth done for this role.
Whoa.
Because he was like, Patrick Bateman is like perfect in every way, like physically.
And these
he's like,
British teeth are not going to cut it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to ruin this role by not having perfect teeth. So he got his teeth done. Like,
what
he's so committed.
I love that those teeth stayed.
Yeah, they did.
I love that they transitioned. What year did this movie come out?
2002.
2000. And I love that those teeth were still around by 2002.
For the Dragon movie.
For his
right.
best piece of work, the Dragon movie, the Dragon Tales.
Not Batman, not American Psycho.
Can I just say, Bateman is one letter off from Batman. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
The thoughts?
It's like he was born for the role. He was bones for the role.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's bones for it.
Why is he bones like that?
Sky, please tell us facts.
So,
Spit 'em, girl.
The studio really wanted Leonardo DiCaprio
I
to
knew
play
that.
this role.
Mm-hmm.
And the director, Mary, actually walked out on the project because she was like, I want it to be Christian. And eventually, I think Leo also parted ways with the project because he wanted to go a different route with the character. And then now we have what we have, which I think wouldn't have worked. I don't think this movie would have been as good if
Without my
Christian Bale
guy?
wasn't in it.
Without my fucking guy?
My guy's guy?
My guy fucking
Yeah.
transforming? A chameleon, my guy is.
Love him. Love his work. This is great.
Love his body of work. Yeah, and also Leo,
Thoughts?
thoughts? Leo can suck my entire dick, so.
He has a fat head.
Every time you say it, it just takes me so off guard.
That Leonardo DiCaprio has a fat head.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I can't wait to
He
watch.
has a huge cranium. I don't think there's much brain in there, but
There's
huge cranium.
there's a lot of real estate on
You
that
know,
forehead. I do agree.
Thank you.
Massive membrane.
I don't think you're using that word right, but I can't fault you because I don't think
either,
you
but
can.
it made me laugh.
Because I don't think you can read, so I'm not gonna ask you to go find the definition.
Also, I can't wait to watch Wolf on Wall Street so we can just fucking clown at him for 2 hours.
That and everything else about that movie.
I think the only words I'm going to say through that is he has a fat head.
Yo, my guy's got a fat ass head.
Oh, he ain't my guy. Also, okay, last thing I'll say about Christian Bale is Patrick Bateman. He was inspired by Tom Cruise appearing on the David Letterman show, and then Nicolas Cage's character in Vampire's Kiss.
I think.
I
Go ahead, Antonio.
don't know either of those like references.
All you need to know is Tom Cruise. Let me tell you, Tom Cruise.
I mean, I've seen Tom Cruise's work on the Oprah show. So.
On the Oprah. Tom Cruise is pretending to be human every day of his fucking life. So
of course, Christian
he's fighting for his fucking life out
his fucking
here.
life.
So Christian Bale clocked that, and he was like, "I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that."
I'm like, he said that is a lizard.
But he like Tom Cruise. I guess this one appearance on David Letterman. Tom Cruise. I guess Christian Bale said that he was so like overly nice with like nothing behind the eyes.
I love Christian.
Honestly, I think that might be one of the reasons why I love Rain of Fire is that's his most like I feel like it's his closest personality to how he is in real life. Like I don't think he's super edgy and dark like in Batman, and I don't think he's crazy like this. And The Prestige, he's kind of a dick, right?
Yeah, he is.
I saw that movie once, and I refused to see it again because it's about magicians.
And you know how we feel about them fucks.
It's a great
But,
film. It's a great flick.
But I think that's why I think I like Rain of Fire and Christian Bale in it. It's like it seems like his most human character.
Say the name of that movie one more fucking time, Antonio.
Rain of Fire.
Take a shot every time Antonio mentions Rain of Fire.
Because it's about dragons, so like it's like raining fire because they breathe fire.
Yeah.
That just clicked for me.
Also, they like rule the world, so they like rain.
That's so cute.
It's such a play on words.
Anyway, back to the movie we're supposed to be.
I am disassociating.
I saw Cancel's face. We don't have Dalia to
Fucking
be like,
astral
okay.
No, because the thing is without Dalia moves us along. When one of us is uninterested, we disassociate, and so the conversation keeps going. Anyway,
And it don't stop.
can't stop, won't stop. Okay, so he fucking hates people, especially Paul fucking Allen.
Who is?
Jared Leto.
That
Fanboy.
that whole before he kills Jared Leto, which thank God, that whole scene with the business cards. So like they're using these business cards as like the epitome of like success.
Dicks.
Wait, what?
I went with dicks.
Oh,
I
it
was
is
like,
measuring
they were.
dicks.
It is.
They,
I would,
it's measuring
Yeah,
dicks, is what it
absolutely.
was.
It was so
100%
so
measuring dicks.
fucking funny. Oh my god.
It is. It's
so
a fucking
funny.
This is a comedic film.
Like, yeah, I had written down here like, what's the equivalent of like these business cards? Dicks. You're right. You're absolutely right. I joke.
Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
Animal Crossing Islands.
Amiibo cards.
Anyway, so he sees Paul Allen's business card and he's like, goddamn fucking shit, piece of shit, fucking piece of shit. And I must kill him. So he
Look at the tasteful thickness
look
of
at
it.
the tasteful thickness of this fucking card. So he invites Jared Leto, gets him real drunk first, and
Well, the thing is, so Paul Allen mistakens Patrick
Marcus.
for Marcus, who's a different person. This whole movie, everyone's so coked up and so fucking stupid. No one recognizes anybody.
especially not Pat, my boy Pat.
Because he's a loser. He's a fucking
He's
loser,
a
dude.
big time misogynistic loser.
But anyway, he mistakes him for Marcus, so that's how they're able to go to dinner. Because I guess in Paul's eyes, Marcus is A-okay. He's a cool guy.
But Patrick is the most uncool guy in every way, shape, and
Most
form.
uncool guy.
And so he takes him to his apartment, and for the first time in several fucking times does he spew all this random knowledge about music. In this case, Huey Lewis and the news. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Guys, it's almost 2 a.m. My mind's gone. My mind's barely been here. For Huey,
Yeah, so
Huey,
he
Dewey,
takes
and Lewis.
so Patrick, pretending to be Marcus, takes Paul back to his apartment, to Patrick's apartment, where he has newspaper laid out. All his furniture is covered with like just like sheets, and
Sheets.
Paul's plastered. He's fucking plastered, and Patrick's just like, "You like jazz?" And he fucking starts talking about Huey Lewis
He
in the
goes,
news.
You ever seen anime?
Do you watch anime?
Do you watch anime? Because this is him spewing bullshit about music every fucking time reminds me of anyone talking about anime. I'm like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Thoughts?
I agree.
I think anyone talking about music reminds me of this moment, and I'm just like, even to this day, people will say stuff, and I'm just like, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So, as Patrick is spewing all this stuff about music, and Paul's just like, like on the fucking chair, like all
He's
drunk.
like, eat.
Yeah.
Eat.
Patrick is throwing on a raincoat. He's getting an axe out. He's doing little dances. And then he's just like, "Hey, Paul." And Paul turns around and he fucking axes him to death.
Very cool. Very
Very
nice.
cool.
Very
Very,
cool.
very nice.
Hey, what's the most quoted scene ever?
That whole scene of him talking about like Huey Lewis and like being like, you know, where's your reservation? Like that whole scene is like iconic. It is like,
Huh. Honestly, that opening scene where he talks about his like skincare routine.
That too is
we
also pretty famous.
that was amazing.
Honestly, remember how at the very beginning when all that was going through and it was just like naked Christian Bale and just that whole
Yeah.
scene, I was like, straight men like this movie?
You
Why don't they do this?
You made a good point. I can't imagine. I made this note down. There can't be men that truly take this movie seriously, can there?
Yeah.
Of course there are.
It's so obviously like a satire comedy.
No, it's so Ivy School, like, you know, it has I've watched way too much SVU. So like anytime an Ivy League person or anyone on Wall Street talks, it sounds kind of like this. It's like it sounds yuppie in any other like media.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm sure there are people who take this very like, realistically. I mean, minus the murder. Which honestly, maybe they do that out there. Who knows?
He goes to pick up Christy, the sex worker.
He goes to and I'm pretty sure in an attempt to like throw off everything, either that or to assume Paul Allen's identity, like he tells Christy, "My name's Paul Allen."
Right.
I was like, it's either like an obfuscation technique or he just literally is trying to be Paul Allen, and I was like,
who
I
knows?
don't know.
Anyway, but that whole scene of him recording himself, like, he's just a fucking asshole. He's just such a fucking asshole.
But that's like why I don't get like why like some men like look at this movie and they're like, oh, Patrick Bateman's so cool, like he gets girls and he has money and
He
blah blah.
doesn't get
I'm like,
girls.
I was like, well, he didn't get those girls.
He manipulated and paid them
Yeah.
and preyed on them.
Speaking of which, like you got Cash App.
You got Cash App?
You got Cash App came to mind when he's like, "Do you take credit card?
You got Venmo?
Can I sell you?"
Mr. Paul Allen's disappearance does not go unnoticed. Enter Willem Dafoe, which
as Detective Donald Kimball. He's not a PR. He's a detective.
it said PI on Wikipedia. Wikipedia wouldn't lie to me.
Don't you teach?
Huh?
All we heard in school was don't use Wikipedia.
Anyway, Willem Dafoe comes for a jump scare real quick. Scares the shit out of me. Because
what is it? Is it the eyes?
it's the
Is it the mouth?
It's the whole. It's the whole face.
It's the whole kit and caboodle, my guy.
It's the whole unit, my friends.
It's the whole meat and bones.
It's the bones.
Right to the bones and meat of the situation. It's terrifying to me.
It's the bones of it all. Like, you've seen him. Wait, does he kill 2 sex workers in between that? I don't feel
Dude,
it.
I don't know.
My guy fucking kills all the time.
He's just murdering people. It's all ambiguous. It's either 20 or 40.
That's double.
I know, right? I was like, dude, how can you not at least have a close count? You gotta have a smaller range, my guy. Like, it's one thing if you're saying, like, it's... Right, it's one thing if you're saying 400 or 450. That's a small, range compared to, like, 20 or 40. That is double.
I killed 5, maybe 40 people.
I killed 1, maybe 100 people. I don't know.
Hard. Who's to say?
I'm just so stressed.
I'm just so fucking
I don't know what's real or not.
I don't know if I can fit in, so I just keep killing people. And again, he keeps trying to kill his coworkers, which I think is not the move if you're trying to keep things a secret, but whatever. I'm not a
How
murderer.
many coworkers? Just the...
He tried to kill his secretary, Jean. He tried to kill his gay coworker, but then he came on to him, kissed his hand, same. And then he killed Paul Allen, also his coworker. That's 3 coworkers.
I could see it.
I'm so glad you can count, dude.
That's 3 coworkers.
Oh my God.
my
Why don't
God.
we have Dolly here? Dolly would keep us
Right? I'm just like...
linear.
Anyway, but around this time that he's in the middle of his killing spree, Willem Dafoe meets with him and then tells him that he's not really a suspect because apparently Alan's been spotted in London, which is when things start to get really weird in the movie because it's like, we saw him kill him, so why is Paul Allen in London?
How is he really in London?
Nothing makes sense after this because then it's like Patrick's sometimes in places, sometimes he's not. Things get very weird. This is where the psychological neo-noir crime thriller comes in.
Wait, I think... Okay, so it's not because Paul Allen was spotted in London. That was always ambiguous that he might have been spotted in London. It's that the guy that Patrick Bateman impersonated Marcus Halberstrom,
said that he
said
had
that
yeah.
he had an airtight alibi, and of all people, Marcus Halberstrom said Patrick Bateman was with him.
Was his
On the
alibi.
night that was his alibi. So, in effect, it absolved both Marcus Halberstrom, who he was basically
I can't believe you
trying to-
remember his last name.
I'm pretty sure it's Halberstrom. I don't know why, because they kept saying so many things.
When does he come across the crossword puzzle so we can finally talk about it?
Okay, so what had happened was Patrick Bateman asks Jean if she wants to go to dinner, and it's up to her decision. And when she walks in on him, he's doing that crossword, which so innocuous, if it was a smaller screen, you wouldn't have even noticed. But all that's written across this fucking crossword are just variations of the words meat and bones. And in particular, the one word that jumped out for all of us apparently at the same time was bonest.
It really took away from the gravity of the situation.
It really did.
And that is going to be the title of this episode. Meat and bones.
Meat and bones.
Love it.
I'm so glad that we landed on that. I was hoping in my heart that someone would would also commit to that.
Listen, I've never loved anything more.
When it's right, it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, afterwards, Patrick brings Christy back for another rendezvous with someone he knows to Paul Allen's apartment, which he has commandeered. And long story short, murders the acquaintance.
Yeah, she was just a friend.
He bites her vagina, doesn't he?
Yeah,
that what happened?
I was like, I've seen this so many times, but I'm always like, what is he doing? But I think it is like
Biting.
the vagine.
Well, you see, when Christy tries to leave, you see them under the covers, and he is like going down on her. You see that, so I'm gonna have to assume he bit her vagina.
So it goes from eating her out to eating her.
Yeah,
Not great.
not cute.
Wouldn't recommend that.
Vaginas are friends, not food.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt and sell it. And he kills someone by throwing a chainsaw. Well, he kills Chrissy specifically by throwing a chainsaw down the stairs, which was a gnarly murder.
But also, so he kills the friend, and then Christy obviously pieces out, and she's running through the apartment, and there's bodies like everywhere. There's bodies in the closet. There's bodies piled in a room.
In a bathroom.
All of these people he's apparently murdered that he just keeps in Paul Allen's apartment. And
in his Airbnb.
And then also he tries to bite her leg when she falls in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, just a nice
He
little...
goes for the leg. He goes for the calves.
Are you a thigh or a leg person yourself?
I'm the person getting eaten. You've seen
nice
my calves.
You got some nice calves, Antonio.
I know. I'm aware. I hear it from lots of people.
But then she kicks him in the face and runs, and then he's you know what I also thought was funny is that he had time to put on shoes.
He's completely butt-ass naked.
I'm not convinced
Butt-ass
he ever took them off.
He just had them on.
I have seen some videos where people take everything off but the shoes and socks.
I've left on socks by accident.
I hate that.
Honestly, it's a look. It's a vibe.
I laughed at it midway through and then took them off, but it was terrible.
Were they like little socks?
No, they were normal. They were normal socks. They were normal.
That's
socks.
terrible. They were like, were they like crew cut? Just like they were crew cut, just white socks.
They were the
because it's one thing if they're like thigh high. Like that's kind of
they were,
exactly.
That's a look.
No,
but yours were not that.
Mine were Mine were the ones with the individual fingers for the toes.
Oh
no,
my
kidding,
god!
Tony was like, ah!
I'm kidding. No, it was just fucking, no, they weren't hot or anything. Just normal ass fucking shit. And I noticed when my legs went up. And I said, whoops.
Forgot to take those off.
I said, wait. Let me address this.
You know what?
Have you done this? You can't clown at me and tell me you haven't done this.
I think, I think I, oh, damn, I think I left my socks on.
Yeah. It happens. You just don't think about it.
Like everything
I
but
hate
the
that.
socks?
Yeah.
Huh. I'd rather just, I mean, it's one, I'd just keep my socks and my shoes on and just take everything else off, you know, for the vine.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the dawning realization of your failures.
Embarrassing.
But, so after dropping the chainsaw down the stairwell and clocking Christy with it,
Clocked,
it
mama.
transitioned. Anyways, she dead.
You
Funny,
said
it was
that.
just a funny choice of
You
words.
said that, not us. She was clocked.
So, she
Collect.
she dead.
She
Miss
dead.
Christie. It transitions to like I don't know what, like days later, a week later, you know, to him drawing her clocked-ass body on with crayons at a table, like you know, like a kid would be drawing on like paper table,
Right.
But the
like
clocked ass
paper
body.
tablecloth or tabletop, you know, like they
He
lay
asked
out
for the
paper
kids'
for
menu,
kids.
and that's where he was drawing on.
Basically. Oh, that must be the restaurant Crayons.
I don't think Patrick Bateman carries crayons around.
No. They legitimately said if you can't get a reservation, blah 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 blah, make one at Crayons.
I think that's the name of the restaurant.
Exactly, which is what he was drawing with.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm looking at the time of this. You should cut very few things out of this episode.
We are somehow making terrible time and yet great time.
Because our summary is so bad.
I'm
just
so
talking.
sorry.
Just vibing.
We're just vibing.
No, we're getting all the important things. Though.
All the
I
important.
think
Well, I
this
mean,
is what
okay.
I want for
We didn't talk one lick about Reese Witherspoon. Though.
We don't need to.
And you're about to bring her up. Miss you, Dalia.
Love.
Wish you were here.
Sorry about this episode. So sorry.
And sorry to our listeners while we're at it.
Oh my god, yeah. So, this is at the Applebee's. Reese Witherspoon gets dumped
What?
by Patrick Bateman, and she's about to make a scene, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not about this life. I'm just gonna
Speak
go."
of the fucking devil.
Hey, she texted. We're gonna live read this. Oh.
Oh. Yo, we're gonna live read this message.
It's an emoji.
It's an emoji. It's an emoji of just like the O face, like the
The O face.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and what does he say when he's leaving? Where does he has to fucking go?
His go-to alibi for everything, or just leaving any situation, is I need to return some videotapes.
Honest,
My favorite.
I want to use that to escape any social situation now. I'm sorry, I gotta return some videotapes. It was a simpler time.
He never goes and like rents any videotapes though, so I'm like, do you even have any videotapes that you would actually have to return?
Hey millennials,
Also,
remember Blockbuster?
Hey millennials, do you remember
Dude,
Hollywood
I love
Video?
how I loved Hollywood Video. It was like right by our houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how the video like cuts you off.
Hey,
He looks so like
Hey,
you're like,
millennials.
hey guys.
hey guys, it's Katzel from Disney Channel. You remember Blockbuster? So things get weird, huh?
It gets even weirder.
Things get strange.
He goes, I would say, off the deep end.
He goes off the abyss. Like, he somehow gets deeper than the abyss.
Yeah, so like, he's still trying to kill people. He's imploding, and he tries to feed a cat to an ATM, which, you know, we've been there. And
Who hasn't been? Who hasn't tried to feed a cat to an ATM?
Hey, the ATM asked. It said, "Feed me a stray cat."
Honestly, for money, why wouldn't you?
How much money?
Yuppie Wall Street money.
Damn, bro, that's a lot of money.
It's like $2.
2 Bitcoins.
Can I talk to you guys about cryptocurrency while we're here?
Okay, Matt Damon.
Anyway, so he's like, okay, I gotta put the cat in, and a woman's like, excuse me, what you doing? And so, so he shoots her, and then he proceeds
Naturally.
No, here's the crazy thing about that. I just want to reel it back.
What is the crazy thing about that?
The ATM says, "Feed me a stray cat," and he goes to put the cat towards the ATM machine, but then also pulls out a gun. Which this entire movie he has used everything but a gun. He's used a nail gun, but he pulls a random ass gun out of his coat, and he's about to shoot the cat and then put it into the ATM machine. And then instead of shooting the cat after he gets interrupted, he's like, "I'm just gonna whip the gun on her," pulls it on her, and just starts shooting the lady.
I guess
that's true.
It didn't say a live cat.
It just said a stray cat.
It just said a stray cat.
Anyway.
And honestly, the fact that it was picky about it being stray, it's like, oh no, don't take a cat with a home. Just...
The ATM. My favorite character, the ATM. So he should.
The ATM's the realest one in this movie.
So direct, just really out there about their needs. Shoots the woman and then proceeds to shoot everyone he sees, including some police officers that see him, this random person, another random person. This is actually a pretty funny scene.
Also, we're
we're
glazing over the fact that the police somehow saw everything, started chasing him, and then when they cornered him, he started shooting at the police, and then shot the police, and then somehow blew up both cars.
And even Patrick was like, "What the fuck?"
Yo, what the fuck?
He looked at his gun. He's like, "What the fuck?"
This is some good shit. It's a lot. And then he makes it back to his office building.
Yeah, and in his office, he calls his lawyer, and again, my guy fucking transforms here. Great acting. His accent does slip a little. And he...
I noticed that too.
I'm like, my little British boy. And he confesses to killing 20 to 40 people, which Antonio has a problem with, and so do I, because that is a huge range. And it's like a long extended scene where you're just sobbing and being like, something not chill happened, and I don't think I can recover from this, so...
So basically he just confesses to everything that we've seen him do thus far.
Yeah.
In the film.
Bada bing, bada boom. They're gonna get him, but instead...
They're gonna get him, but instead the next day in his pristine white apartment, he's showering yet again, and then goes into the office.
He goes to Alan's apartment to clean up all the bodies.
To Alan's apartment. Oh, that's right. He goes to Alan's apartment and finds it painted and being shown. The lady there is like, "Did you see the ad in the paper?" And he's like, "Yeah, there was no ad in the paper. You should leave now. And don't come back."
And he's like, "What?"
And he's just so confused and distraught.
Because they were, like I said, when Christy's running through the apartment, there's bodies everywhere, blood everywhere, and he leaves it like that. And coming back to this, it's all cleaned up.
Good shit. Good shit, though.
It's awesome. Having left the apartment, he breaks down, calls Jean, says, "Cancel everything.
I'm sick. I can't.
I'm sick. I can't come into the office.
I feel sick.
Cancel everything. Just say no." And then "Stop sounding so sad" is also said. I think. What does he say? That is, "Stop sounding so sad," or does he also say "you stupid bitch" at the end of that?
Probably says.
He says that before.
Sometimes I want to scream that shit at people too.
Yeah,
I'm just knock it off.
Nah, it's funny, huh? It's so crazy that really you also kind of relate to that, huh? That's really, hey, Antonio, it's really funny, huh? That's really crazy. That's really wild, huh? that you relate to this American Psycho. It's it's almost like
Just
you guys
that
have a lot in common, huh?
I can't do 1,000 crunches.
Dude, good on you for keeping a straight face through that whole thing. I'm so proud of you. But during that phone call with Jean, I think she tells him that he has
the
drinks?
She tells him
Happy
that
hour or
his
whatever.
friends
yeah.
want to meet up with him at 6 o'clock for happy hour.
The dolls
He
want to
goes.
drink.
So he goes to the drink place and he meets up with his friends, but he also sees his lawyer there. And he runs up to his lawyer like a fucking crazy person.
And he's like, "Hey, yo."
And his lawyer doesn't recognize him either. He mistakes him for a fucking another person. He's like, "Oh, that voicemail you left was so funny." Like, it's so funny. But Patrick Bateman, though, he's kind of a loser. And Patrick's like, "What?"
While he's having this conversation with his lawyer, what's her name, Jean, it goes through his office and finds his his date book,
His diary.
his planner, and just sees him slowly devolve over the past few weeks into just more and more crazy, like detailed, like scribbles of like murder and torture and everything like that, and it just gets more and more convoluted as she flips through the pages. The lawyer turns around and says that it's not possible that he killed Paul Allen. And he says, "I was just in London and I've had dinner with him twice in the past 10 days.
Mom. The gag of it all.
The absolute goop.
Thoughts, Antonio?
I think the final part of that, just before we close this out, is that like Patrick Bateman doesn't ever think he's gonna get like the punishment he deserves or wants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Unclear.
He has like this small monologue. It's very unclear. So and this is where I was like, towards the end of it, I had to jump on my phone and check some stuff. I was like, so unreliable narration seems like what really happened throughout this entire movie. And I'm like, I don't even know if he ever killed Paul Allen or if he's really even Patrick Bateman. Like, that could not even be his name, potentially. He's probably just so confused about who he is as a person with trying to assume different identities that his name might not have been Patrick Bateman. Paul Allen might not have ever existed, or that guy could have not have been like Paul Allen. You could probably just swap names across any of them, and it could be the same story, and it just wouldn't be like about Patrick Bateman being a murderer.
Yeah, I think that I can like absolutely see the whole like maybe none of this in the last couple of days happened. I never really thought about him not being Patrick Bateman though. I think it's like he is, but nobody gives a single shit, which is like part of his issue, right? The ego of it all.
About the ego of it all, that no one will acknowledge who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting to like fit in.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like in the end, he's a nobody.
His friends could just be calling him Bateman because that's just who they think he is, because no one knows who anyone is at this point.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Because every time someone talks to Bateman, they don't know who he is. They confuse names. He's giving out different names. But all of his friends call him Bateman, but none of them seem to actually be paying attention to him, to the point where like maybe they're not even really caring about what he's thinking or saying either. And he's just not even Patrick Bateman. Because everyone that talks about Bateman says he's weak and spineless and whatnot, but they all treat him like he's not.
Oh, like that could be a completely different person.
Like Bateman could be a completely different person. And whoever it is that Christian Bale is playing is like could be someone else entirely.
Whoa.
Because they don't see him as weak and spineless, because every time anyone else references him.
it's not in like good light.
Huh. You've seen this movie a lot, Sky. What do you think? I didn't really think about that part. My mind's reeling now.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. That's a really good take. Because I think I when I was Googling some stuff about this movie, one of like you know how Google has like common questions or whatever, and you can click like the thing. One of the questions was like, what like mental illness does Patrick Bateman have? And one of them was one of them lists. I can't remember what the first one was. The other one was DID. And that kind of goes along with what you're
like
saying.
Maybe that is one of his personas. Yeah. But maybe he is all these people. Maybe it's not that he's none of them, but he is all these people.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
It's such an unreliable like story.
But then the other thing too, like I said at the beginning, like everyone's so coked out and on drugs and so stupid.
Everyone's unreliable to begin with.
So everyone's unreliable. So
There is
could be
no
anything.
Yeah.
It's
super
ambiguous.
There's so much ambiguity about this movie, and that's why I wanted to like wait until the end to talk about like why I was like I have to go on my phone really quick.
Well, so did you like it?
I was like starting to wonder about things towards the end. I was like that's what I liked about it.
Made you think.
I was like I liked it. I thought it was more of a freaking comedy than anything else.
So fucking funny.
But I think it was only funny because of watching it with you.
I don't know. I think it's funny because it's a satirical. I think it's so over the top. That's why people like it. It's fucking funny. The memes are out of it because it's just so fucking over the top. I think it's meant to be funny. I don't think it's just, even though we're great company, I do think it's also meant to be funny.
Yeah, it's like a satire on fucking capitalism and hyper consumption and misogyny,
hyper
and like, all
masculinity
this stuff. Yeah, and it's funny because it is so over the top. Like the whole threesome scene is so ridiculous.
It's so narcissistic.
He's like looking at himself fucking these girls, and it's just so funny. It's like funny.
Yeah.
Because I think even at one point the girls are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like everyone is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's just like a parody of a person.
Especially when he's like, but when he's like, every narration where he's like, I was close to tears thinking that we weren't gonna get a good table.
That was like me.
I was so close to breaking down because Paul's apartment was obviously better than mine. Like, it's just so funny.
I'm like, me
so
as
funny.
I'm like, I don't see myself as a yuppie, but we're young professionals, are we not? Not rich young professionals, but we're young professionals. I was like, it's relatably funny, but also so over the top funny. I too am upset when people have nice things. And they are
I
not
too
me.
hate when people have nicer things than I.
I too am near tears when I don't get a nice reservation.
So it's so funny.
Meat and bones.
Meat and bones. Cast meat and bones.
Was the cat?
Podcast?
Was the cat meat or was it bones?
Meat.
That was meat. Meat, mama.
That was meat.
That shit was meaty. Christian motherfucking Bale.
Also, everyone at the table, all of his friends, I was like, "Oop, I like all of these people."
Yeah, well, that's interesting, huh?
What do you know Justin Theroux from? Okay, I know him best as one of the antagonists of a film called Charlie's Angels.
Full Throttle. Yeah. Yes. Well, if Dalia was here, she would be able to tell you that he worked with David Lynch in Mulholland Drive, but I don't know what that means, so let's move on. Some more Dalia screaming.
Soundtrack and score.
Banging. 80s.
Love the
Banging.
soundtrack.
I actually, today of all days, was going through like the decades as a genre, and I find the 80s to be filled with a lot of meme music, and I like this score and soundtrack and everything, but I think the 70s is more where like my heart is at.
I love 80s music, and
I love 80s music.
It's the one. I think it's the one decade. I think that and like Y2K for like Latin music. I think it's like a one decade I have a playlist for. I love 80s music.
Me too.
So this soundtrack was bip bop banging, lots of beeps and boops and synths. So costuming, suits, lots of designers. That's all I know. I don't know much about designers, but maybe you do.
It's funny. So a lot of the designers they wanted did not want to be represented in this film.
Makes sense.
They were like, we don't want our name in that.
I shan't partake.
Keep my brand's name out your mouth.
But I thought that I love all the suits. I think they look really nice.
They are nice suits. As far as like set design, it's like quintessential. Like, what year did this movie come out?
2000.
But this is set in 87.
87. It looks like 87. It looks like 87 New York.
In New
Like the set
York.
I hate you.
I like I did like Patrick's apartment.
I did too. It actually translates really well to like the now times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It has like that like
minimalistic.
it's like
modern.
minimalist. It's a little bit more like crisp white as opposed to like that wabi sabi like kind of natural organic thing. But it does translate really well to 2022.
Yeah, I would agree.
One more thing about like set design was that opening scene where it's all that like au cuisine stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks good." I was like, "This is kind of like Hannibal."
I said,
You were like, "Ooh."
I said this shit looks like booty. Hannibal's food looked good. This booty.
And this is that like
I
random.
thought I figured you would like the beginning because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
very like Hannibal-esque.
I love.
I always
What's
thought
the
that.
best way of putting it? I don't even know how to describe it, but I just love that opening montage of just like
A-
food prep
A
or food design.
gastronomical treat for the eyes.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
We got favorite quotes, lads?
Boy, do I! Don't just stare at it, eat it. Which I like how you guys were like, "What is that in reference to?" And I was like, "Oh, you'll know.
Okay.
It's an ass.
It's about eating ass."
It's about an ass.
It's about eating booty.
It's about an
I
ass.
love
If you won't eat my ass, then starve.
my favorite Valentine. I still have it saved on my phone. I also love. I mean, I Need to Return Some Videotapes is such a.
iconic.
I love that. I think it's so funny. At the very end where he's like, "I'm just a happy camper." I post that all the time on Instagram because that has been the vibe of a lot of this year, and I'm tired. But smiling through the pain.
My two is when he blabbering on about some shit and he's talking about food. I don't know, but it's like, oh yeah, like the New York Post called this a playful but mysterious little dish. I think I'm a playful but mysterious little dish. Thoughts?
I'm gonna go into my quotes
No,
now.
wait, I got one last one. I got last.
Can I go now?
Can I hold the talking stick, please?
My last one is, I've assessed the situation and I'm going.
That was it. That's the other one that made me laugh.
I have a few. I mean, I now that I know where it's from, don't just stare at it, eat it. That's fucking hilarious. It's not all you have to fucking contribute is when's dinner comes to mind. And then there's the one, it's so fucking like just bizarre the way he's like talking to Christine in the bathtub, and he's like, "Put on a robe, not the Bijan." Like like the delivery of that, I was like, oh, he's pampering this girl, but no, you're playing.
I saw you laugh every single time he like ran to put a coaster somewhere or like stopped them from putting some on the surface. And it made me laugh.
I loved it. It was fun. Every single like, I don't know, anything that was anal retentive
You're like,
that
"Love."
happened. Love it. I identify.
Loves it.
Love that.
So Antonelli, and then me and Sky can discuss this too. Do you think this was worth the hype / watch?
Dare I say it? Yes. Yeah. I think it's definitely worth the watch. And yeah, it's pretty good. It is a little concerning though that like people want this to be their favorite movie for like certain
comedy
reasons.
not comedy reasons.
Yeah. Anyone who says this is their favorite movie, I am kind
or
of
they
concerned.
idolize Patrick or something. I think the difference is like this could be your favorite movie because like it's a good flick, but to like epitomize or idolize Patrick Bateman is mega concerning.
It's super concerning. Like I think it's worth watching.
Would you recommend it to
Am I going to
someone?
watch it? I don't know to whom I would want to recommend it. I feel like bringing it up in conversation sends up a red flag for the person I'm talking to.
I don't think so if they know
if they
you.
bring
Well, actually, I'm like, you do have a lot in common, so maybe maybe it would throw up a red flag, huh? Moving on.
I just, this is one of those like this is level 8 stuff on a
Scusi?
if I've ever gonna talk about it again. It's like level 8. You gotta get up to like level 8. You can start at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not until we're at level 8 that we're gonna talk about if I like this movie or not with you.
Of the Circle of Hell?
Sure.
That is a
I am
friendship.
hell. The circle of hell, that is my friendship.
I love you.
I love you too.
Aw.
Oof.
I thought this movie held up so well, considering I haven't seen it since I was an edgy teen. Some of it's really of the era. Like, we love to throw around gay slurs all the time. But this film is so fucking funny. This film is kind of camp, TBH, which most cult classics
It
are.
is super campy.
It's so camp. I would highly recommend this to anyone. I fucking love this movie. It's so fucking funny. Even if you're like horror's not your thing, I want to call this a horror film. More psychological.
Psychological thriller / black
Neo-noir.
comedy. It's not neo-noir. Stop it.
I think if you're going to recommend this movie to anybody, I think you would have to recommend it with like being a satire. It's a parody of like the time. I still love this movie. I will always love this movie, and
Jesus saves.
that's that on.
Live, laugh, love.
God in this Chili's tonight. I'm so glad you liked it though.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm so glad. That
I
makes me
did.
so happy. I really, truly, I watched this movie around the same time I watched Fight Club and Fright Night.
Fight Club, another red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a straight white male, so I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Last I checked.
I kind of flinch every time you walk into a room.
You're so funny.
Can I just say, it has been very delightful to be on this journey with you guys. I love you guys very much. I am very ready for Dalia to take the reins because we were like,
Yeah, and if any of you guys, listeners, whoever, friends, family, are listening to this till the end, thanks.
sorry.
Question mark.
No, I think
sticking around.
I think we did great.
I think this is, it might not be the most concise episode or like best executed, but it's definitely one of the more fun ones.
It's got a lot of heart.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot of.
It's got charisma.
It should really do.
It's got it might not have meats and bones on it, but it's got something. It's got some flavor.
It's got bones. I don't know about meat.
I think it's barely got.
It's got good bones.
Good bones.
That concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. You're watching a movie. We'll catch you guys next time.
It's we're watching a movie.
What did I say?
You're watching a movie.
You're watching a movie. We're watching a movie.
Bye, losers.
We gotta return some videotapes.